Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins 2000X Cartoon Collection Deluxe Beastman. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, and I have to say, I think these deluxe characters are some of the best Origins releases in a long time, because not for nothing, the line's getting pretty boring. Everyone being the same scale, same body type, same this and that. I don't mind reuse when it comes to action figure lines. I'm not one of those guys that's all, it all must be new sculpt. If it is reuse, be gone from me. But after you get like 50 some odd figures with the same body, it does get a little boring. Marvel Legends looking at you. However, Beastman here, as far as I can tell, doesn't reuse squat from hardly anyone. And that is pretty freaking cool. So, with that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all he has to offer in terms of accessories. We got a cardboard card, okay, in a baggie with a little pamphlet that shows you how to take these apart. That's all you get. No mini comic or nothing, once again. And then we also get his whip, which is a rubbery material. It's not bendy wire. I don't think we'll ever get a bendy wire whip for this character from Mattel. I really don't. I think the Mondo one might have one, but, you know, costs like $50,000, so it should. But it is, you know, got some flex to it, and you can kind of use it as a real whip, but I would argue that 2000X, like the OG 2000X Beastman figure, that has probably the most painful whip in Beastman action figure history, because it's got the little spike ball on the end, and it hurts if you get whipped by it. How would I know that? Don't ask. So, taking a closer look at him. Love the head sculpt. He's snarling, just like that. He's got the spikes sticking out of his mane here. Mane slash chest armor harness overlay piece. And I do appreciate that these are separate pieces, because A, they're softer, so they're not going to stab you when you're trying to play with the figure. But the color is also right. They're able to mold them in white, glue them in place, and because of that, we don't got to deal with crappy white paint. Loincloth looks good too. Shin guards slash knee pads, whatever these are. Very simplified from the actual 2000X figure, which had spikes going all the way down, but I get it. They had to simplify it for animation. And he's got the shoulder pads with the spikes. He's got the bracers with the spikes. He looks really, really good. And arguably one of my favorite figures from last year, the calendar year 2025, for those of you not in the know. So as far as articulation on this guy goes, his head can actually look up a decent amount, despite his ears and his whatever this thing is getting in the way. He can look up and down a little bit. He can look side to side. He can rotate, kind of crazy exorcist style. Shoulders can pop out. Is the other shoulder easier to move? No, not really. Shoulders are a bit of a, how you say, a pain in the butt to move, but you can move them out. About this far. Possibly more, but that's as far as I can go with it. And be mindful that you could pop the shoulder out of the socket when you're trying to pose it. That's just the nature of the beast. Actually, I think I did. Trying to put it down there. Yeah, feels a little tighter now that I did that. Of course, it can rotate. I didn't mention that already. Elbows can rotate and hinge. He's got swivel hinge wrists. Not the appropriate hinge for holding weapons, mind you, but hinge wrist nonetheless. Waist twist is nice and solid on mine. I know some people will say that... pop that up. Some people are saying that his waist comes off. Mine doesn't. Mine stays on there pretty good. His hips kick out, back down, forward, back. He does have a little bit of thigh cut in there because of that ball socket. Single jointed knee that you can straighten out, but I like to keep these bent one click because Beastman didn't stand straight up and down in the show. He stood kind of hunched. He does have swivel below the knee, or at the knee, as well as boot cut, even though he's not really wearing boots, but it's hidden by a shin guard, so that's all fine and dandy. I prefer to pull these down closer to the cut in the leg, because it's a little bit of a tighter fit. And then we do have a hinge in the foot with our rocker joint. So a very nice figure. And I gotta say, once again, that these deluxe figures look to be very promising from this line. I hope we get more of these in the future. Hopefully this is like what we have to look forward to when it comes to Megator and stuff. Probably a little bigger. I would say probably twice the size, but you know, if we get like a Megator, a Titus, Granomir, Procrustes, those guys, I would like them to be like built like this. Really big, chunky, durable. I like it, man. I like it. So, with that being said, I think it is now time that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old Beastman alongside a more standard-sized figure from this 2000X cartoon collection, that of course being Skeletor, the Lord of Destruction. And I've decided for these deluxe figures to do the size comparisons a bit differently than usual because they are so much bigger than a standard sized figure. So, getting him out of the way so we can compare him to a female character, the only female character I have at the moment. There we go. We have Evelyn, who is quite a bit smaller than our Beastman here. And then we have the other deluxe figure in this line. It's Clawful, who we will be taking a look at tomorrow, so please stay tuned for that. As you can see, Beastman is a little bit bigger than Clawful. And last but not least, we have our two regulars. First of which is the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibilith. And last but not least, we have the infamous 11 Spawn, who despite Beastman's deluxe size, still towers over everyone. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and as far as being the first deluxe entry into the cartoon collection, Filmation 2000X or otherwise, I have to say that I thoroughly enjoy good old Beastman here. I really like the size of this guy, because you know, in the 2000X series, Beastman was a more, for lack of a better term, beastly character, so it makes sense that he gets the deluxe figure treatment. And up until this point, I don't think we've gotten larger scale Origins figures like this outside of crossovers like Turtles of Grayskull or Thundercats. So it's nice to see some Masters of the Universe proper releases getting this deluxe treatment. I mean, we've seen it in Masterverse, but as far as Origins go, I want to say this is the first one. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.